All right, let's finish out these problems here. Here we have 18 over 50, and what we're supposed to do is change this from a fraction over to a percentage. So if you'll remember our rules, if we want to change over to a percent, we have to multiply by 100. So multiplying this by 100 over 1 so we can see that fraction, 50 would go into 50 one time, and 50 would go into 100 two times. So 18 times 2 would be 36. On the bottom we'd have 1 times 1, which is 1, so we don't have to worry about that. So 18 over 50 is the exact same thing as saying 36%. Now here we have 5/6. And 5/6, again, if we want to change that over to a percentage, we have to multiply by 100. So multiplying by 100 over 1 so we can see that. Let's see, we could go ahead and we could reduce down some of this. 2 goes into 6 3 times, and 2 goes into 100 50 times. So as a multiplication here, that would be 5 times 50, which would be 250. And on the bottom we'd have 3 times 1, which is 3. So this is really 250 over 3%. Now we do not like to say 250 over 3%. It needs to be either a simplified proper fraction or a mixed number. So to change that, we need to go ahead and do the division. So 250 divided by 3. Let's see, 3 will go into 25 8 times. 8 times 3 is 24. Subtracting would be a 1. We're going to drop our digit of 10 and continue on. So 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. We would have to subtract. So that would be a 1. Now look at what we have here. We could write this way also. We could say that 250 over 3 is the same thing as 83 1/3% because of our division here. These are the exact same thing. Now, unfortunately, our directions said to round to the nearest tenth. So they didn't want us to write it as a mixed number. They want us to write it actually as a decimal, so having 1 decimal place, which means we need to continue going with our division. So we're going to have to put our decimal in and add a 0. 3 will go into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract. Now we do have to the 10th spot now, but because it says round to the nearest tenth, we do have to go one more place just so we can see what has to be rounded. So 3 will go into 10 again 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. And now we can stop because 83.33 rounded to the nearest tenth would be 83.3%. So this is what our answer is that we're looking for. But just keep in mind that you could write that same thing as an improper fraction percent or as a mixed number percent. It works all different ways. Now finally, just as we've seen, decimals can be changed over to percents. Fractions can be changed over to percents. Percents can be changed to decimals or fractions. We have 3 different ways of writing the exact same thing. So we should be able to, given one of them, write in the other 2 ways also. So here we're given decimal notation, which is 0.95. And we can change that into a fraction. That's been a while since we've done that. But if you'll remember, we just read the decimal. This says 95 hundredths. So we could write that as 95 over 100. And then we could reduce. Because 5 goes into 95 19 times. And 5 goes into 100 20 times. So written as a fraction, this would be 19/20. Now to write as a percent, remember if we're moving to a percent, we move the decimal 2 places towards the percent symbol. So written as a percent, this would be 95%. We should be able to go back and forth between all 3.